I'm officially pregnant. I mean, we haven't gotten the test back yet, but you know me, I'm never late.
Well, no, I don't understand.
If you're not happy for me, I'm gonna get so mad if you're not happy.
Why should I? Why should I be happy about being a grandmother?
I still so remember that scene, don't you, in terms of endearment back in 1983? It won an Oscar for the very lovely Shirley MacLaine, one of our greatest actors, and we have to say, most colorful characters.
Guess what she just told us?
Yeah.
2012,
Share.
her best year. Why?
I don't know, Charlie.
But you feel it, though. You know it.
Yeah.
You know these kind
Really?
of things.
Maybe I do very well in years that are considered doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom?
You know, because
What do you
everybody's
mean?
so worried about 2012 and what it might mean.
In economics and whether the recovery will come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weather,
Yeah.
nature, what will she do, etc.
Here's what I said to Gayle as well when you sat down. You just keep on going. I mean, you somehow have found a way. You've got great roles coming up. Downton Abbey and the rest of it. This book is now out in paperback. Shirley MacLaine does not stop.
It's in my DNA, really. It's something I've got. I love having this energy.
No, you call it your third act, and you said your third act is really pretty good. I did an interview with Gayle Steinem last night, and there you were on the video, Shirley, in her documentary.
Oh,
it was
really?
way back in the day at one of the conventions.
Right.
And there you were, so Shirley MacLaine, so in the moment. And I look at your life, you've had a really good life.
I've had a wonderful, very
And it's-
dramatic, colorful life. Yeah.
What stands out most for you? Can I tell you what stands out most for me about you?
Okay.
There's a chapter that said I had 3 men in one night.
Oh, Gayle, don't go there. It's
Oh,
such
let's
a
go
stupid
there.
little thing.
Oh,
Okay,
Shir-
let's talk about it for days and days.
No, not for days and days, but I was very intrigued, as you know, by that chapter, because it's to say that you've had a very rich, you've had a very full life when it comes to love in your life. That's the only point I'm making here.
That day, that wasn't about love. That was about let's experience what all these other people are doing on a campaign.
No, but I'm talking about, let's talk about love in your life, Shirley MacLaine, because you've had great love in your life. And that's what I mean.
Oh, that's true. But that's not what that day was about. No, I just love being alive. I love the experience, I guess, of learning. That's my favorite thing, is to learn, because I am so curious. I think that's my motivating factor.
Still learning? Do you feel you're still learning?
Yeah, I do. Like when I'm doing my shows, I like to learn where the audience is right now. I miss the live audience. So I want to know where they are. In a collective sense, I can learn that in an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah, because Charlie, she has a one-woman show, Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah.
Is it any good, Shirley MacLaine? What happened?
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah,
I've
what
got a whole
happens?
compendium of films and a remote control, and I put all the films together myself, and I and I tell them stories that they've never heard before. What was really going on behind the scene, and what was not, and what did I wish had happened and it hadn't. You know, directors, co-stars, and so forth.
Of all the people who played a role in your life, who do you miss the most?
Probably Elizabeth.
Do you?
I miss her, Charlie. We were very good friends. From the time she was 23 and I was 21. We were good buddies. A really wonderful, genuine, very, very talented. And made fun of herself. That was the quality I loved about her the most.
And men?
Who do I miss the most? Probably my husband.
Yes.
Ex-husband.
You had an interesting marriage. I mean, he lived in
Japan.
Tokyo for a significant portion, but the marriage continued.
Continued, and he died in the 80s.
Yeah, we were talking about marriage, Shirley, in the last segment, about whether it's relevant, does it still continue? And Gloria Steinem said to me last night, no, she would never get married again. She's turning 78 on March 25th, and she said, no, I would just never do that again. I'm very happy with my life. Where do you stand on that?
Absolutely agree with her. I was married when I was 19. So, and he was my kind of protector, guardian, helpmate, companion when I came to Hollywood. You know what's interesting with this stuff that's happening to me now? With all these
What
pictures
stuff?
and the stage show and Downton Abbey and the movies and the new Ben Stiller and the new, all these pictures. I was like when I first came to Hollywood, and I'm able to look at that onslaught of creativity that might be coming my way later with experience, as opposed to what it was like when I first arrived. A little like, what is Jennifer Lawrence going through?
Yeah.
You know, what's her life going to be like after this starting?
But the interesting thing about you, from my standpoint, was that you were a pure entertainer. You could dance, you could act, you could sing. Not only that, you had a really interesting life in that you were involved in politics, the whole McGovern campaign, central to that. That was a '68 convention, I assume you're talking about.
Yes.
You were part of Sinatra and the Rat Pack, too. I mean, you had this amazing capacity to be part of so many things that were happening and to be a pure entertainer.
Well, that's interesting, because in my show, I do all show business, a little bit smattered into with my metaphysics, open the hall open to questions afterward. Nothing is about show business.
That's interesting you say that, because Warren Buffett tells me that he has college students coming out to Omaha to talk. And he said it's always about values and interesting questions about living. It's not about what investment should I make.
And of course with me, it's about what's going to happen in 2012.
Right.
What reincarnation experiences have you had? Where do you think we're going? What's heaven like? What does meditation do? And so it turns into a kind of an interesting theatrical seminar.
We've had this whole conversation not talking about reincarnation. That's, you know how I feel about that too.
Oh, you'll grow up soon.
How do you feel about it, Charlie?
He gets all embarrassed and tongue-tied.
Yes, I do.
But
before we go,
he's late. But you'd rather not be there. Stuff like that.
But he never gets tongue-tied, Shirley. But your book is "I'm Over All That." What are you most over?
See, she's still a bad girl. That's what she is, a bad girl.
I'm a bad good girl that he's attracted to. What is she talking about?
He did say he would be open to getting married again, Shirley. I'm just saying. But your title is "I'm Over All of That." He did say that.
I'm not planning to get married, but she asked me a question, would I be?
He said he was open.
That's your first mistake, Charlie.
Well, I know. There are many mistakes. By the way, before we go, how's your brother?
He's great.
I love Warren, don't you?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
There's a man who got lucky in marriage, Annette Bening. I mean, there is as good a man found the right partner of anybody that I know. Don't you agree?
I agree.
At a later time, and it worked. It worked. "I'm Over All of That" is the name of the book, and Other Confessions. I love the title, and the book has got some really interesting stuff in it. By the way, Shirley, thank you, Shirley, will be performing her one-woman stage show tomorrow at Proctor's Theater. So if you're in Schenectady, New York, you get the chance. You get to go. And Saturday at the Warner Theater, that's in Torrington, Connecticut.
Good to see you.
I'm driving up there in my truck with my dog.
And let me finish. I'm not